Welcome, everybody, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau, and wow, what a great day it is today. You guys don't know this, but I'm telling you now, I do drive into town. I take the entire length of the valley today. I went through Bennett Valley, which is this beautiful valley that kind of winds with oak trees and vineyards and lavender. I went past the Russian River Valley before I got there, and there was a crew spreading hay on a new vineyard. And then as I went through Bennett Valley, I saw the lavender fields that had just been harvested a while ago, and I saw the vines that are being harvested for harvest, which I've been talking about now for 17 months, which is eventually going to happen. It's happened. And then I saw macro bins, which are these big plastic bins where they put the grapes in and they stack them almost like Legos, and that's how they bring the harvest in. I saw macro bins going north and going south and going east and going west, and they're all going different ways. A lot of them are in big trucks, and we're in the back of pickup trucks, depending on the size of the winery. It's really neat. When I came down to Glen Ellen, I stopped at Les Pascals, which is a French bakery, and I had a croque monsieur, which I don't know what that actually means, but it was a delicious breakfast sandwich. And I thought, I'm sitting there underneath an oak tree, and I'm drinking my coffee, feeling so country in French or Provençal or whatever they say. And I came back into town. I said, this is the perfect day. And then, of course, worked at the visitor center. And on my way back out, I saw a big birthday party. A group of women were here celebrating a 60th birthday. They all had matching shirts, and one of them had a crown. And then I saw a bachelorette party, and they were all wearing matching outfits. And sort of like one of them had like not a crown, but like a veil, sort of like going down, and they were walking around the plaza. And I thought, the people that would know a lot more about this than I do are the people that I'm about to interview, because they know a lot about bringing events and good places to stay in Sonoma Valley. So, folks, I know every week I say I have a very special guest, but this time I actually mean it, because I have two very special guests. I want to say hello to Erin McVicar with the Lodge at Sonoma. Erin, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. And Erin, you have brought with you Nicole Whitaker, the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Lodge.
Yes.
All right. Well, Nicole, good to see you.
Good. Great to see you too.
And thanks for coming. And did I mingle your names correctly?
You did great.
Thank you. And Erin, you're the marketing manager at the Lodge at Sonoma, an autograph resort.
That is correct.
Is that it?
Yes,
that's full name? Okay, good. Yeah, it is so funny with all the hotels, like they never just like the hotel.
Yeah.
They have like an entire sentence to describe their pedigree and where they're from and stuff like that. But guys, welcome. So good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Tell me, what is the Lodge at Sonoma, an autograph collection for people who don't know? Who wants to take that one? What is it?
The Lodge at Sonoma is one of Sonoma's greatest hotels in the area. Actually one of the largest as well.
It is, yeah.
Yes, and very close to the plaza. We went through an incredible transformation and renovation in 2021.
Okay.
So if you haven't come by to see us since then, and Wit and Wisdom, gorgeous restaurant.
Right.
Yes, Michael Mina restaurant.
It's great.
So it's really a wonderful place, not only for guests outside of the area, but also for locals to come in. We do pool passes. We have the spa.
That's cool. Okay.
So it's a wonderful place.
Let's start with the where. You are located, is it about a mile south of the plaza? Is that about right?
Yeah, we're a mile away.
Okay.
And we have some really incredible bikes that guests can just stroll right on down to the plaza, and it's been a really big hit.
Do they have to go to the concierge and check out these bikes, or how does that work?
So a lot of the bikes are actually parked in front of our cottages, so they're always going to be there available for whomever is staying in the cottage. But if you don't have a bike in your cottage, you can always go to the front desk, sign a waiver, they'll give you a helmet.
Oh, that's cool.
And we also have a really great bike trail as well, so they'll give you a map that we created.
Oh, that's very smart. You guys can get down. Yeah, because I know you can get to the plaza in a matter of minutes on a bike, probably 3 or 4 minutes. I see every day, like a lot of people from the Lodge heading up on their bikes to go check out what's happening on the plaza. And it's so cool because it's not only is it useful, but it's like more sustainable, right? You don't need to drive everywhere in Sonoma. You could ride your bike, and like you said, the bike path, Erin, is a good way to get around. How many rooms do you guys have down there?
182.
Oh, you got that out. Boom, you got it.
Yes.
I know that. And are they all the same kind of room? Are there different types of rooms down there? Tell me about that.
So we actually have 3 different varieties. So we do have our run of house, which is going to be our standard room, which is very incredible. Most of them come with fireplaces. We
that's
also
cool.
have our cottages. So
Okay.
we have 100 of those, which they truly feel like they're individual
Yes,
spaces.
love
There's 4 in each section. They have a back patio or an upper deck that you can hang out on. And then we also have some really premium cottage suites, which are incredible. And
Are
there's
those the
4 of
ones with the
those.
outdoor bathtubs or something like
Yes.
that? That is cool.
Yes.
They are really nice, and they're
Yes.
you can kind of like sit out there and you have the stars at night. But there's a privacy curtain
Yes.
around it, and of course there's a fence around that.
There's
Yeah.
a fence
Yeah.
around it as well.
Very,
Yeah.
very
Right.
private.
Right. And then okay, so you've got all these rooms, you've got these bikes. What if I want to relax? What if I'm like tense and I've been like, I need to just decompress? Is there a place on your property that offers any services in that regards?
Well, truly everywhere on our property
Yes.
really has this very serene feel to it. I think any aspect of the property that you visit is going to be that relaxing feel. But I think going to the spa is going to be your
You've
number
got a spa.
one. The
Okay,
spa.
tell me a
Yes.
bit about the spa. What's that all about?
Well, we actually just did a renovation
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
along with the property renovation, and they have a beautiful spa garden. There's 2 separate pools. You have your whirlpool, and just a really serene, quiet place that you can hang out. We have masseuses there. They can do facials and different special treatments. We have a really popular one, Valley of the Moon, which
Tell me
speaks
about it.
to
Tell
where
me
we
about
are.
it. Okay, very
Right.
good. Tell me about that one. What is that?
So that
how
one
does-
is based off of the different moons. Right now we're going through the harvest moon. So they select specific stones that correlate with the harvest moon, and they use those stones integrated into the massage treatments.
So do these? That's clever. So do you have different? Like, do you have is there like a winter moon or something like that, or a blue moon, or I don't know my moons at all.
Everything.
We just had a once in a blue,
Once in a blue moon.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
so-
the largest blue moon.
So
yes.
that's okay, and that's at the spa.
Yes.
I like this. Do you have to stay at the hotel to go to the spa?
No.
Okay, so anyone can walk in there.
Yeah.
Anyone listening to this after they finish this podcast and they like, comment, and subscribe, they can go make a spa reservation. They don't have to stay at the lodge, but they should. But they should stay at the lodge.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I mean,
They
that's
can
for
do
sure.
a staycation.
Yeah.
They could do a staycation.
Staycation.
They absolutely could. Okay, so we've got the spa. I'm like, okay, now I'm relaxed. Okay, I rode my bike and went down the plaza and stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm hungry.
Yes.
What should I do now that I'm at the lodge? Where should I go?
Well, Wit and Wisdom, of course.
Well, tell me about Wit and Wisdom. What's
Wit
that all
and
about?
Wisdom is based a lot off of Jack London.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
obviously, being our local storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
We have a wonderful crafted cocktail selection that is based around a lot of the literature and the books.
Okay.
I won't give them all away right now.
You gotta show
You'll
up to
have
try
to
it
come
out.
in exactly.
Try it out, yeah.
Exactly. And the menu is changed seasonally.
Okay.
Locally sourced ingredients, and
Okay.
as I mentioned before, with Michael Mina behind it. So
Yeah, so
super
Michael Mina
special.
is kind of made his name in San Francisco. He had his namesake restaurant there, and he has a lot of different restaurants. And I think Wit and Wisdom has more of a Mediterranean flair. Is that correct? Or what's the current, like, is it everything? What is Wit and Wisdom? Give me the food.
So it's more of your American style food.
American style? Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
but it has a little bit of a flair to
Okay.
it. It's incredible food. If you have a chance to go down there and experience it, I mean, it's always ever changing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they have incredible oysters. They have a seafood platter.
cool. Okay.
They also have flatbread pizzas.
that's
So it's
good.
really a wide range
and you have a big
of.
patio out front, right?
The
Yes.
patio
Like, that was
is
redone?
awesome.
Yeah. That's
And
okay.
happy hour, 3 to 5 p.m.
Oh, okay.
A really great happy hour.
Okay.
So that nice patio out front,
Right.
we have the fire pits for, some of the, when the cooler days ever
Yeah.
arrive, right?
Right, just so it is a little warm today, and we're having that October heat spike that, a couple weeks ago we were worried that harvest would never happen.
Right.
And now it heats up and everyone's rushing around like crazy, hence all those macro bins I was talking about. You're right. So when it does get cooler,
Yes.
it's people can go inside and enjoy it and stuff like that in the fire pits. But now it's a little warm, and it's perfect to be outside with some shade. No fire pit. Yeah, you don't need that. I've also noticed something that's interesting about your property is there's a big oak tree, and people kind of sit
Yes.
around it. What's that? Tell me the story behind this thing. What is going on there?
So that is actually our mark. So each Autograph Collection hotel has a specific spot in the hotel that's unique to them that sets us apart from any of the other hotels. And the Heritage Oak is ours.
Got
So
it.
that's our special spot in the hotel that's unique, and no one else has that experience there.
And
So
go ahead.
the Heritage Oak is actually over 400 years old, and it's the oldest tree in Sonoma.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
So that's why it is
And
our mark.
you're like the caretakers of it.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
I think you have a neat little thing underneath it with a bunch of bottles and people can put their
Yes.
wishes into it.
Yes,
Or
so
what's that?
that's our dream wall. So what we'd like is for the guest to go over and they have a piece of paper that's biodegradable. They write down their wishes and dreams on that paper. They roll it up, put it in the bottle. Once a month, we take that paper, we mulch it, and we put it in our vineyard, which is directly across.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. That's
yeah.
smart. Okay.
And so the idea around that is that, once the customer or the client has left, their hopes and dreams will continue to grow with us.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
So it's a really, really special experience.
Yeah, that's smart.
And it's also a special event kind of venue and area as well.
Oh, because I see people have done like wedding rehearsal, cocktail
Right.
hours or stuff there.
Cocktail hours,
Okay.
Local events, birthday parties.
And it's right
receptions.
if there's also a building called the Stone Building.
Yes.
And
Yep.
so it's kind of between that.
Yep.
Outside the Stone Building is a big grassy lawn.
Yes.
So you can kind of do an event that kind of flows all the way through the property.
Absolutely.
100%.
Or if you have a smaller event, just choose one of those spots
Yep.
for
Right.
a thing. Are weddings popular down there?
Very. We actually have two
As your eye
right now.
twitches.
Yes.
You're like, ah!
Yes.
No, Tim, October wedding.
No, not at all.
So weddings are a big thing. Also,
Yes.
I'm assuming probably later the corporate events, the retreats, the association stuff. They come and they like to get away from the big city.
They do.
And come here and kind of like
Yes.
brainstorm and have big ideas
Yeah.
and retreat and stuff.
And they love the serenity of the property and also the exclusivity.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, especially in the cottage areas, like you're really secluded and provides that opportunity for the thinking and the brainstorming and
Right.
all those great ideas. And also I kind of call it the fireside chat areas, all
Yeah.
these little pockets by the
Yes.
pool, cabanas, hammocks, and then the little patios off of the cottages where people can just kind of naturally get together.
Right. And it kind of has that whimsy of good ideas. Like you're with a group of people, you find two people, you're like, oh, we're working on something. Somebody walks by and it sparks that thing. Right.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of that. Or if it's a bunch of friends and if it's a 60th birthday party,
Yes.
you guys can all hang out there at the fire pit or something.
Yeah.
Changing gears real quickly then, you guys are working in the hotel business. Let's start. Erin, how'd you end up there? Like, what happened? What brought you to be working in the hotel?
Many things.
Okay.
I actually worked in the hotel industry. I lived in Vegas for a while.
They have hotels there, huh?
Yeah, a few,
Yeah, one or two.
hotels. And I kind of got used to the way that the hotel works, and I got to learn a lot of different ends there. And moving to wine country, I kind of jumped into the wine industry, as one does when they come out here.
Right.
And really missed that hospitality aspect.
Aspect. Which now that I said it slower is worse. So I apologize, but yeah, keep going.
The hospitality aspect of
Yes.
things. So that is what brought me
Right.
to the lodge was, I wanted to do something that still was in wine country, but also was more drawn to
So
that hospitality.
you were working in wine before this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Were you squishing the grapes barefoot, or were you doing something else?
I never got to do that,
Oh
and
my
I'm pretty
gosh.
bummed about it.
I know that union is strong. It's hard to get into that one. Were you working for a winery here in Sonoma or Napa area?
Yeah.
Okay, very
I
cool.
kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything. I
good.
did Dry Creek area, Russian River
Oh, you
Valley,
did?
up
Oh,
here
okay.
in Sonoma. So really got to, get familiarized
The
with every
diversity
area.
of the whole region
Yeah.
there. That's
Yeah.
pretty neat. And did you ever study like any hospitality stuff? Because I know in Las Vegas, I think at their school they have a huge hospitality program.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you do that?
Yeah, I did a little bit of the hospitality end, and then I kind of, have always had a foot in marketing, and
Okay.
it's always been something that I've been really drawn to.
Okay.
So that's just how the marketing came about. Went to school for it.
Did you grow up in
and-
Vegas?
No, I grew up in Central California.
You
so
did?
Hollister.
Oh, in Hollister.
Yeah.
Okay, isn't it weird how so I was in college when that brand came out, and I thought everybody was like big into this place where I grew up in San Jose.
Oh, okay.
And Hollister is
Okay.
where like divorced dads moved to.
Yeah.
Right? No offense.
No, that's
It's like
Very
it
accurate.
was cheaper. You could still get into Silicon Valley if you drove pretty
Okay.
far.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
But so I'm like, wow, people know about Hollister, California. Right, and was it like Abercrombie and Fitch or American Eagle or one of those guys?
Yeah, all
Okay.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
They all like this Hollister
Yes.
thing, and so I remember I was in the Midwest. I'm like, so are you from like, is it San Benito County or Monterey County? I'm like rural, and they're like, no, man, this is like this cool shirt.
Everybody thought. They
you
were
were
like,
cool.
"Oh my God, you're so lucky. You
Yeah.
live by a beautiful beach." And I'm like, "Actually, it's mostly cows."
That's right. Yes, right. As the crow flies, I could get to a beach eventually.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll
Okay.
make it there,
Too
but
funny.
it's definitely not where I grew
All right,
up.
so you grew up in Hollister. That's pretty
Yeah.
funny. And Nicole, what about you? Are you from California, or where'd you grow up?
No, I grew up in Utah,
Okay.
so not too far away, but
One of the rectangle / square states. So except for the little,
exactly.
little thing at the top.
totally,
And
totally.
what were you in the mountainous part of Utah? Were you in the valley part of Utah?
Mostly in the mountains, Ogden, and then started my career in Park City. Then
yeah.
went to
Okay.
Vail, Colorado, then
wow.
Miami,
Oh, wow.
and now.
So you've been in resorty areas.
Yes.
You never did the Chicago or
No.
the like the big, industrial city or something
No.
like that. Okay. Have
One
you
of my
always-
clients came to me and he said, "You only live in the best places." I said, "Exactly. That's part of the brand."
Hello, here I am. And look where I am now. And then did you set out to work in the hotel business or hospitality business, or was this something that you kind of stumbled into, or how'd that work?
I kind of stumbled into it at a pretty young age.
Mm-hmm.
I actually started in like telemarketing and marketing in the back end.
No
and then,
way. Were you a person on the phone, like calling randos?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
with AT&T.
Really?
You know,
Okay, hold
trying
on.
to-
Can you give me the
Right.
pitch? Can you give me the AT&T pitch?
Well, and these were people like in the 90s. Well, now I'm aging myself, but
Right.
that I had to. It was called AT&T Winback, and these people would have their old phones that they still paid to rent from AT&T.
Okay.
And they really didn't like them. And I had to convince them to come back and leave Sprint and leave the Baby Bells and all this crazy
It was
stuff.
called what? Winback?
AT&T Winback.
And you were going to crawl and get them back
Pretty
to
much,
AT&T.
yes.
And was the pitch like, if you hated us before, wait till you try us again?
Exactly.
Oh my
Give you some free minutes, give you a free month. Yes, yeah.
So
it was a lot of fun.
I'm on AT&T.
Okay.
On my cell phone.
Okay.
Which I've been on forever because I'm
Yeah.
grandfathered in on the minutes.
Yeah.
See?
I got the free minutes.
Right.
Me too.
And my kids
Right.
complain because we had a thing here where like we lost some towers.
Okay.
And they haven't quite been replaced.
Oh.
And so we don't have the best of service at times for AT&T.
Okay.
And my kids like, Dad, we got to change. I'm like, but we are grandfathered.
We are
But
grandfathered
you don't
in.
understand.
We pay so little for so little. So
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I love that. So do you think the skills of being, you were kind of cold calling people or trying to bring them back.
Yes.
Have you been able to take those skills in your new job now doing like sales and marketing?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I transferred over relatively young into the hotel side, and those things those objections. So being in sales and marketing really help you be able to assist your guests. Assist guest concerns because these people are yelling at you that you're calling and hanging up on you, and they don't like AT&T. So when they're at the front desk and they're
Right.
really frustrated,
Right.
or a
Right.
Bridezilla or
Right.
whatever the guest concerns.
Right.
It really teaches you how to be able to just lock it up, put that away, and
Correct.
put it aside. And
Yes.
And it's, so you guys have all worked front of house, front desk kind of stuff in a gig? No.
I didn't do front desk.
You haven't? Okay. Because that's a real skill I've noticed in hospitality. It's like sort of like being the gate agent at an airplane where
100%.
yeah, like people are just really mad at you.
Yes.
Oftentimes for something you have no control over.
Yes.
And they often disassociate you from being a human being.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the best people. I mean, of course, not in Sonoma. We never have these problems. But I've seen like the front desk agent being so polite and so professional. And even when people are being near abusive, they're able to like step away. Right, they get their GM or their manager on duty, and they're like, "You need to assist this person,"
and do it with such grace.
right?
With grace.
Such grace.
And they don't
yeah.
even know that they're being told, take
Yeah.
your, bag and
Right.
go away.
Go away. Go
okay.
away. Yes.
And I think that's one of the beauties of hospitality as an industry is
Yeah.
that you have to have incredible executive control over the ability to not get angry, but also you're there at people's best times,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
A lot of times people that are traveling, if there's a family tragedy or
Yes.
something like that, it's their worst times. And those
Right.
can be two back-to-back guests, right? Honeymoon, someone's there for a funeral,
Right.
And you're just like
Yeah.
handling that person and learning those tricks.
Right.
And that's, it is, I think in a way, a blessing that you get to be able to be there for people.
Right.
But it's a testament to, the staff at the hotels that
Yeah.
100%.
they can roll with that. But switching from that model and story there,
Yes.
guys, let's go back to the lodge. You got all these bicycles. People are having a good time. What are some of your favorite things that people do, like for doing special events at the lodge? Like, are there any cool things that you've seen weddings do or any corporate events? Talk to me about that.
I mean, there's a whole lot of things. I mean, you can speak to the event side of things that guests get to do, but we have so many different activations and touch points for guests at the lodge. We really want them to feel that it's not just a hotel, it truly is an experience.
Right.
So we have a build your own sachet station in the lobby where they can go
like
over.
the smelly sachet stuff?
Yes.
Okay, not like sachet. Okay, but like,
We can do a dancing class
do that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
so like they have like smelly potpourri stuff.
So we have a lavender.
Do you like you translate it to
The lavender, yes.
and they build their own.
Yeah, and they can put it in their suitcase. They can smell it to help relax them.
That's
So
cool.
really just something that's speaking to the customer. I think they all enjoy it. It's been such a huge hit. We have our Letters from Sonoma programming, which is basically a timeless daily offering that kind of takes you away from the digital age.
Okay.
I think we're so consumed by digital
Yes.
era now.
Yes.
Right.
As I just started my laptop again. Yes, you're right. No, I'm listening. Go ahead. Yes, I'm not distracted. Yeah.
Sometimes it's so hard for us to really put down our phone. And,
Absolutely.
I mean, we have everything you need on your phone. So this really kind of takes you away from that, and you write a letter to a loved one or to,
An actual, like, so you provide the stationery.
Yes. So you find a spot in the lodge, you take your pencil, you write down what speaks to you. You go over to our station. There's pre-made wax seals. We have a few different varieties.
Really?
You pick which resonates with you.
Right.
You put it on the back of the envelope, and we send it out for you. So
You mail
really,
it. You will actually mail it.
We will mail it.
I just have to remember an actual physical address and not your Instagram
Right.
handle. Because you have to,
Yes.
Okay,
And then they'll
got it.
mail it for you.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's really been speaking to a lot of what we offer at the lodge and what Sonoma is truly about, which is heritage. I mean, we have so much history here,
Right.
and that's what we want to bring back into the lodge and really remind people of what we used to do and get away from that digital age.
Right, I mean, people used to send postcards.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they travel and they would seek them out. And getting one now, it's like so special. Like,
It is.
oh my
Super
God.
really
intimate.
is. I love
it's
it.
very intimate.
I have an aunt that sends me postcards all the
Yes.
time, and I love it. My Aunt Erica, I'm like, she's like, she calls me Timmy. Timmy, we're having a good time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so fantastic. Even from her hometown, she'll just find one and
that's
send it.
fun.
Yeah, it's really, it's a nice touch, isn't it? Because
like
someone
that.
took the time to physically touch something, and put it in the mail to you. That's
Instead
kinda
of just a text message.
Right.
I used to love getting mail, and now it's all bills, and I don't love it anymore.
Yeah.
neat. Someone send Erin a letter.
Yeah, somebody sent me a letter.
Well, speaking of texture and things, in your lobby, right behind Lori, the world's best concierge,
Yes.
there is like a golden threaded like mural or something. I don't know what you call that, but can you guys explain what that is? If you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Absolutely.
What is that thing?
So that is actually a huge painting that has been put on the wall. So it's a mural of the mission in downtown.
With like threads, though.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like it's like it's got texture on it somehow. Yeah,
Yes.
it looks really neat.
Yeah.
And it's the mission of Sonoma.
It is the mission of Sonoma and a little bit of downtown.
Got it. Yeah, I think there's some hills on there and some of the buildings and things like that. And when you're close, you don't notice it. So this is
Right.
funny. Like I
'Cause it
go in
kinda
and talk
looks-
to Lori all the time, the concierge, and I'm like, oh, look at that. There's a wall behind you, a little bit of gold on it. She goes, Tim, will you step back? Like, step back, Tim. So I'm like,
back.
oh my gosh, it's a
Wow.
beautiful, because there's a table in front of it where kind of a communal table where, Lori, the concierge, is on one end, but then people can work there.
Yes.
And it's a very community oriented spot. And then it's just
really
a
is,
beautiful
yeah.
setting for the lobby. And I like that. I do have to say my favorite part of your lobby.
Okay.
And it's going to be a guess. Okay. The favorite thing I love about going to lodge, other than seeing you guys and Chris, the GM, is
Okay.
the free coffee in the morning. Because every time I go there, it's right there.
It's
and
right there.
No, it's
You just
great.
grab the coffee.
People take that for granted when they
Yes.
travel. And I love it when you're like, oh, thank coffee. Because when you're traveling, sometimes you just want a cup of coffee and just kind of sit, like that cafe experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can do
Yeah.
that. You guys do have a great cafe called Benicia's Kitchen.
Yep.
Yes.
And you can get breakfast there as well. But I just love that it's just this place of community.
It really
and
is,
I
yeah.
see a lot of visitors, but also locals who kind of sneak in there and get their cup of coffee.
Hey, you're
yeah.
telling a secret
I know.
now. You're telling a secret.
Nobody listens to this.
Nobody
right?
listen, yeah.
Right? But if you are listening, like, comment, and subscribe. Something else weird about the lodge, and it predates, I think, both of your ages. There is a VW Microbus.
Yes.
What's the story of the blue VW bus out front?
It seems to just have caught on. It just showed up one day, and now we and it's stuck.
Because it says that, well, what are the odds? It says Lodge on it.
Right,
So
I don't know how that happened.
Right.
So the story I was told is one of your former GMs purchased it, had some money in the budget. It wasn't that expensive. Bought this really cool VW Microbus.
Yes.
It has Lodge on top, has a roof rack.
Yes, it does.
And the goal originally was it would be the car that you had to go pick someone up at the plaza.
Yeah,
and take
the
your car.
shuttle bus.
The
Yeah.
shuttle bus.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think the GM said, I thought this was a great idea, and it was, until I realized most of my valets are 22 years old
And
and don't know how to drive manual.
Yes.
right. Right.
So it's like, so I'm the only one that can drive it. So this really, shot him in the foot.
Yeah.
That he became the guy. But I do know you guys occasionally will drive it around. I've seen it, but it seems to be a backdrop for like every Instagram photo.
It is.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean,
yeah.
can you blame them?
No,
I mean,
it's
it's
cool.
and it's in the perfect spot. It's
Right.
it's this beautiful Tiffany blue. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Did either one of you grow up with VW Microbus?
my best friend's dad had one,
Yeah, how was
and
that?
she was embarrassed to drive in it, but I loved it. I
So-
was like, roll down the windows, let's go.
Have you heard of a place called Copperopolis in California?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our VW Microbus would routinely break down outside of Copperopolis. Yeah, when it was like 105 degrees.
Oh goodness.
And that's when it always break down. So my memories of the VW bus are my dad trying to pull over and us trying to push it underneath an oak tree.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe a 300-year-old oak tree. Maybe
Yes, maybe.
It may be.
come full circle. But people really love that bus. I love
They
seeing
do.
it. A lot of photos, and even on your website, I see Chris,
Yes.
the GM, is driving it around, which is kind of funny.
And we do take guests out in it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do they have to push it if it breaks, or are they cool?
Yes, they do.
It's a special package.
Right. And it's great for the weddings.
It is.
The
No, they
wedding
love it.
photos
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, they love it. It's cool.
Yeah.
You guys also have, I believe, a normal shuttle bus. Sometimes.
Yes, we
do.
A normal van. So you don't have to rely on the VW bus, which is super cool. And of course, the bicycles, which are
bicycles,
which are
yep.
there. And then I think you have by the pool
I was just
a
going to
trailer
say,
of some
yeah,
kind. Tell
a
me about
horse
that.
trailer.
Okay.
That horse trailer almost got me in trouble this week in my photos.
Why? Were you
Can you
doing
tell
something
why?
with a horse?
You go ahead.
No, the name of our horse trailer.
Oh, right. Yeah. It says,
Yes.
get off your high
You know,
horse. NAPA, right?
And it
Napa.
says, yeah.
And then does it say, like, you're a pain in the
No,
aspect?
it says get off your high horse, Napa.
Yeah, that's all it says.
Sonoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there more on it?
No,
Is that
no.
it?
I just recently, was
Were
working
you-
in Napa, and now I'm in Sonoma. So.
Oh, that's fine. We accept you. Did we do the anti-Napa thing where we cleanse her of the smudge?
We haven't done that yet, but I think we should
Yeah,
add that
we're
to
gonna
our
teach you
list.
the
my gosh,
handshake.
you have to-
It's
okay.
really cool.
Okay. Oh my gosh. What's my hazing? What's my
Just-
orientation?
Oh, it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be intense. But so you have like this trailer. I think you guys do cocktails out of that.
Yes.
Okay,
We do.
so
Yeah.
how often is that open? Do I just walk up to it? What's the story there?
So it is seasonal.
Oh, it is, okay.
Because it is outside. We don't want you going out there in the pouring rain and getting a
The
cocktail.
one day of
unless
the
you
year that
want
rains.
to.
The one day of the year that rains in Sonoma
Right.
at night from
Right.
midnight to 6
Right.
a.m. Right. Thank you.
So we do close in fall and winter,
Okay.
but for the majority of the summer, we have it open, and you can order small bites and also cocktails.
Oh, very
And we
cool.
have some
Okay.
beers in there. We do
Okay.
have some slushies in there as well. So you have this variety and this beautiful menu that you can
Okay.
order from the pool, or if you're staying at the hotel and you
And,
want to come
your
down.
pool's gorgeous. It's
Yeah,
right there.
it's
So you have
beautiful.
this cocktail trailer. You have Benicia's
Yes.
kitchen patio / just the general patio.
Yeah,
you can hang
yeah.
out. Go down a little step or two, and then you've got the pool right there.
Right.
And the pool has a lot of cabanas around it. It's
Yeah.
got a hot
Yes, it
tub.
does.
Seems very popular. And I think you told me that even if I'm not staying there, it's possible to buy a pass for the pool.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
On Resort Pass, they
Resort
can buy
Pass.
a pool pass or a cabana pass.
Okay.
Which is a great way to spend the day, or
That's right.
going to the spa,
Right.
to be able to
Yeah.
entertain. But the resort pass is awesome.
So you can get this pass, chill there for the day, and eat at the restaurant.
Yes,
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
And I don't need to dig a pool in my backyard. So I'm saving money. So speaking of saving money, are there any special offers that occur at the hotel, maybe starting in November, that sort of time? Because I know we are a little bit seasonal, so right now is a great time to come visit. Everyone should come visit. But also November through April, there might be some other offers. Can you guys tell me about any of those, or anything you're going to let me know later?
No, I mean, we've got so many offers going on. I think, we have offers for our group, we have offers for wedding, and then we have general offers. I think our most popular one right now is our sweet and spooky package.
Okay, I love that you have. There's like a hand instead of like a bloody hand though. It's like on a shower or like a sauna door.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks like the bloody hand. That's cute. So what is the sweet and spooky package?
So that is a 2-night stay. They get a really spooky welcome amenity in their room, and then they get 2 tickets to the Sonoma Ghost Tour downtown.
Oh,
I have
that's
been
smart.
told
Okay.
that Sonoma is the most haunted town in the area.
Well, there are secret tunnels. We've discussed in this podcast earlier. There are secret tunnels. Somebody even wrote a book about the secret tunnels that supposedly, and I can neither confirm nor deny, that run underneath the plaza.
Okay.
Perhaps part of Prohibition or darker
Right.
things.
Darker things.
Darker things.
Darker things for sure.
So they get a tour of the haunted Sonoma.
Yep, they get a ghost tour. So that one is right in line with our season. We
Got
also
it.
have a really popular package, Fall in Love at the Lodge, and that is a 2-night stay in one of our Cottage Junior suites with a tub. You also get a couples massage, or you can do 2 individual massages. You get dinner
That's
at Wit and
included in the
Wisdom.
package.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's actually really smart for, I'm not going to say husbands, but for people who are not the best at planning special things and putting them together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
And this, I'm nonpartisan. It could be anybody. But in my experience of me personally, it is me, the husband, who's bad at this. So this sounds like something that you can just, boom.
And
do.
then once you arrive, Lori takes care of everything else.
That's
Exactly.
right.
You know, makes
Lori's
you
right there.
really look like
It
a
is
And she
superstar.
doesn't say, step back, Tim. I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Can you guys, okay, many people don't know what a concierge is. Let's just transition to that real quickly.
Okay.
What is a concierge and how do you use a concierge?
I always tell people concierge is pretty much whatever you need in the area. You know, whatever you're looking for within reason and legal.
Right, of course. Right.
Legal, because I will preface that working in Miami many years.
Yes, you're like, I'm sorry. You cannot get that package into America.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But really just helping you make all of your vacation dreams come true.
Okay.
You know, whether it be visiting wineries or great restaurants or, great hikes. And learning the area. And it's just that if they're that insider that can get you that exclusive, visit to the winery that maybe you can't find on talk or, just that person to really assist you in opening up what the Valley has to offer.
For example, often a lot of stuff is online now, we're talking about.
Yes.
Yep.
But nothing takes the place of actual knowing people or the experience or the inside knowledge.
Absolutely.
100%.
Even though I've worked here in the county now for 17 years and in tourism, she knows stuff that I don't know. And it just routine. I'm like, how did you know that? She's like, Tim,
She's full of
doesn't
knowledge.
everyone know this? I'm like, no, literally, that's why you're the concierge.
Exactly.
She is truly the directory of Sonoma, if there was one.
Well, that's a
I
good
mean,
one.
she is just this huge bowl of knowledge.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
she knows the ins and outs. I always go to her if I ever have a question, and she knows it.
And she has the context because people often, and I mean, you worked in Napa, Napa's a lovely place. We're just being goofy here, but that they think often like they're in Napa City, right?
Yes.
And then they're like, well, I've got a tasting in Calistoga.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And then I'm going to get to Mendocino
Yeah.
for dinner.
Yep.
And you're like, no.
Yes.
I mean, maybe if you really just
Maybe.
speed the whole time.
Yeah.
And she can put stuff into context and bring it back and say, like,
Absolutely.
this will work for this kind of experience. Or, here's a nice drive if you want to do a beautiful drive, but not have to spend the entire day in the car.
Yeah. Not only that, I don't know what vacations you've planned or like we talked about the packages. I always say, the investment that you do yourself in looking at all these websites, looking at Google, doing your own research, that's what a concierge is there for.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes the travel agents and things like that. That's what we are there for, is to help you curate that so that you can look like a rock star without minimal effort.
Yeah.
Nicole, do you remember back in the day when you were at AT&T?
Yes.
And travel agents knew stuff. And I remember, like, as online started happening, we're like, I can do it myself. And what's funny is that, you lost so much information and knowledge and wisdom about, like, this connection's not going to work at that airport. It's just not. But
Right.
but the online will let you book it.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, 35 minutes to pass in O'Hare, you got that. No problem, right? Or Dallas. But the travel agents knew this stuff.
Yes.
And I see a lot of people returning back to that local knowledge and that experience with the travel agent or the concierge, front desk staff. For some hotels don't have concierges, but they just know that stuff. And it seems like, especially for event planners, if people are bringing a wedding, talk to the event planner at the property because they know the layout. They know the vendors. They know what's going to happen. Because if you don't... Whew,
right. Right. Imagine trying to get the whole bachelorette party, out. The ladies of the 60th birthday, are they planning that all by themselves? Highly unlikely.
No, and don't do that. Right?
Yeah, no.
There's a saying in travel that there's 3 E's: ease, economy, and elegance. And you can always have 1 out of 3, no problem. 2 out of 3 is pretty easy, but 3 out of 3 is really hard.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna, you just got to be willing to see what you're gonna do, because you can get someplace for very cheaply, but that might be jumping the back of a train at one time, and it might take a long time, right? So you got to balance that out and see what matters. But well, guys, before we move on to our next section of the podcast, one, is there anything else about the lodge I've forgotten to ask you? And you said, Tim, you are a horrible interviewer. This is terrible. And if not, wait, did I forget anything else?
We actually I just wanted to mention that we just started a master series at the lodge.
What's that?
It is basically a series of events that speak to the lodge and Sonoma. It's a way to bring not only the guests, but the locals in to experience what we're all about. Okay. So each event brings people together. It's based off of what you can find, in your backyard or not.
Okay.
So we do wine tasting 101s, cocktails and carving parties.
Oh, there's cocktails and carving. Yes. That's what I saw. So this is about learning new skills.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. I'm like the masters. I'm like repainting like official, which you might be, like the old masters.
We may ease into that.
Right. Okay, so you bring in different experts, and there's sort of experiential things for people to learn and how to do stuff.
Yes.
Okay, and this is called the Master Series of the Lodge. Okay.
Yeah.
And that information, I'm assuming, is on your website.
It is.
Okay, and these change with the seasons, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's a monthly experience, and we welcome everybody. And we've gotten some really incredible feedback from locals, that are looking for that thing to do in Sonoma that doesn't necessarily have to do with wine.
It doesn't have to be wine all the time. I know. Hey, when the winery's in here, I'm going to say that for the next podcast.
Right. Of course.
Like the Masters, forget that. It's all wine all the time. But as you're saying, that if you don't want to do wine or you've done wine, you want to do something different. I like that kind of cocktails and carving.
Cocktails and carving.
For pumpkins, not for ice carving. Okay.
That would be a little bit different, and we would need a lot of waivers for
that. Right.
Because that sounds incredibly dangerous.
A lot of waivers for that one.
Well, and actually, I do want to bring up wine. Going back to wine.
Yes.
I think sometimes you have wineries pouring in the lobby. Am I correct about that?
That was going to be another little snippet, but that's another secret,
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But when you get to stay there, we don't need the no, it's not a secret at all. But that's another wonderful way that we get everyone at the hotel together is a daily tasting with a different winery.
Every day?
Every day.
I thought it was just coffee. I'm an idiot. I got to go back in the afternoon.
That's what I'm saying.
Go for the morning and coffee and the afternoon for wine.
So guests that are staying there, you bring out a winemaker or somebody who works at that winery, and they're there pouring the wine. And I bet you it's a great chance for the visitors to meet a winery and then learn more about it. And also for the winemaker to go, hey, check out my product, especially if they're a smaller winery, right?
100%.
That they can kind of get the access to somebody new. So.
And our guests love it.
They do. I'm sure they do.
They love it. And I think it helps too, because you check in at 4 and then you go and get your wine.
Right.
And you're like decompressing from this crazy travel day.
Right.
So I think, people are so receptive to it.
And this is the Classy Wine Hour. Just want to put that out for those of you that have been like me at the certain winery that rhymes with Schmembusy Schmeats, that does have a wine hour with the kids' soccer team over there and the hockey team over there. Everyone who works in hospitality knows what I'm talking about. But that's an entirely different animal. This is a high-class wine tasting experience.
It is.
At the Lodge.
Absolutely.
An autograph resort. Okay. Guys, if I wanted to find you guys on the old internet, what is the website?
On the old internet, it is thelodgeatsonoma.com.
That's easy.
Yes, that is right. You don't have to have autograph in there. Just
thelodgeatsonoma.com.
Yes.
All the information's there. I bet you there's probably special offers and deals.
Yes.
Information if you want to bring an event, wedding, meeting, conference, or something like that. And I bet you, I'm willing to bet, you guys are so good, I could probably even sign up for email blasts from your property. Is that correct?
Yes. Essentially, yes.
All of the above. Okay,
yes,
perfect.
all of the above.
I do want to mention, Since you are a native to Sonoma, do you remember Martini Madness?
Yes. Well, I mean, I remember the beginning of it. No, yes. So yes, Martini Madness, which was a big event in the winter. We would, different people would do it. We would do it at the lodge, as I recall. And different tables would be there, and people would present their version of different martinis.
That's right.
And supposedly you would judge, but it got a little hazy at the end. And the good thing is people can stay right there at the lodge. So it's fantastic. Tell me about it.
I will say, we are bringing it back.
Are you really?
We are bringing it back in February.
Yes.
And we have a new system for voting because you're right. It does get a little fuzzy at the end. And trying to collect all of the votes is a little hard after everybody's had some of their martinis.
Right.
Which
That's
is completely
great.
fair.
So I love this. So Martini Madness is coming back in February?
Yes.
You heard it here first on the Sonoma Spiel. I'm so excited about that.
We are.
We'll get on the
we
calendar.
are so excited.
Okay. Do you have the dates yet, or is it still TBD?
We are shooting for February 2nd.
Good.
And hopefully nothing changes, but that's the goal.
All right, great. That'll be a fun one. I love that. What
really
I really love is
excited.
that everyone, some people made the classic martini. This kind of happened like when people were big into Cosmos, made that. Some people made like the dirty martini. Everyone had like these different takes on it, and they would have different foods that would go with it. It was a lot of fun. So I can't wait until you bring that back.
We're very excited about it.
Put me down for 1, 2, maybe 3 tickets.
You got it.
Right. And judging.
And judging. That's right. I'm also a judge. Good. All right, good. Well, thanks for bringing it. I didn't even... That's great, because it kind of went away as many things did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that we brought it back. Yeah.
I think a lot of people that we've mentioned it to are same reaction.
Yeah, they're all
super excited about it.
Because, and again, it's always lovely and beautiful in Sonoma.
Yeah.
But in the winter, it does get a little dark early.
Yeah.
And you kind of want, especially after the holidays, kind of the lights gone away. And you're like, what's to do this? It's good to have a party.
Yep.
And something like that.
Something to lift the spirits.
Exactly. So.
Literally.
Well,
Lift
but
the
I'll
spirits.
This whole marketing thing might take off, Nicole. All right, guys, we're at the section now where you're going to help me. We have 2 visitor centers, one at the plaza, one down south. We have Facebook. We have email. People can text us questions, 707-996-1090, and we'll answer it. We get questions through different groups, and you're going to help us answer questions in a segment we call We Get Questions.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Drum roll.
These are actual questions I got. You are now here by Visitor Center staff. Okay. Hello. People always say hello. Hello. We are going to Sonoma soon, and we are very excited. We are interested in significant nature areas that we shouldn't miss, specifically water related.
Oh, wow.
Any suggestions would be appreciated. TIA. I don't think they're saying ant in Spanish. I think they're saying thank in advance. Thanks in advance.
I think so.
Not Tia. Yeah. So significant nature areas. And possibly water related.
The botanical gardens.
That was the first thing
Good
that
job.
came to my mind.
That's a great job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Up there in Glen Ellen, there's a Sonoma Botanical Garden is really nice. And you're right about the water because it's a former quarry. And they have lakes and they have little waterfalls. And it's a cool, those botanical gardens are really lovely.
Beautiful.
They have a mixture of both Asian plants that are very rare and also a lot of California natives. And then right in front of it, an organic vineyard. So good job.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you.
Ta-da!
See?
Yeah.
I'm passing orientation.
You got it. I would also say if people want in the winter, Sugarloaf Ridge State Park does have a waterfall that goes by. And then we do have some vernal pools. And in the south area, we have the San Pablo Bay Watershed, which is a beautiful area for bird watching. If you want to leave Sonoma Valley, and you don't, but if you did, Lake Sonoma, the Russian River, and our own Pacific Ocean coast is quite lovely for that kind of. And Hollister, as you know, is right on the beach. So it's
Yep.
When you bring your T-shirt, it is.
all right. Good job. You're hired. Okay. Here's the next one. Ready? We're planning a visit to Sonoma in a few weeks. Our agent booked a hotel for us in Rohnert Park, which looks to be about a 30-minute drive from Sonoma. Would there often be a lot of traffic between the 2 areas?
From Rohnert Park to Sonoma, you're going to take Lakeville.
Okay.
So typically there is not as
Right.
much traffic if you were traveling on 101.
Right.
You will still hit some of that afternoon traffic around 4:30, 5 o'clock. You'll get a little bit of traffic, but it's not going to be as extensive as 101.
Right. And most people will probably leave in the morning from the hotel in Rohnert Park. My guess is they're probably staying either at the Gables Wine Country Inn, which is a beautiful B&B down there. There's also a DoubleTree in Rohnert Park. Sonoma State's in Rohnert Park, and there's a lot of hotels there. It's not as lovely as Sonoma Valley. but
Right.
it's a great place. And you're absolutely right. So you can do what I call the fish hook. You head down, you go around the Microbus Mountains. So by going through, you go past Ernie's Tin Bar, which is on a Lakeville winery, or Lakeville Highway. You could take 101 and cut over. But ready, here's the bonus one. There's a Crane Canyon. You go over to Sonoma Mountain, you pass the Sonoma Zen Center, and you work your way back down right into the Valley of the Moon. You avoid all the freeway. It's really beautiful drive.
It is a beautiful
Yeah,
drive.
and Sonoma Mountain's so weird because you go up, Oak Tree Vineyard, down Redwood Forest, Sonoma Zen Center, back up Oak Tree Vineyard. It's the coolest exchange between different places. So. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So this is from Bill via email. Hey, you can do it. Go to Renner Park. You can also stay at the lodge next time. So,
Stay at the lodge.
Yeah,
next
very
time.
nice.
Maybe he can come visit, see how cool it is.
Yes.
And then write in the bottle in his little wish wall, I wish I stayed at the lodge next time.
There you go.
And it'll happen.
It'll happen.
Dreams come true.
All right. Got this one today from someone who texted me. I'm taking my girlfriend to an event at a winery and then looking for a special dinner spot to celebrate her birthday. Where should we go?
Wit and wisdom.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good
Yes.
answer. And they can book probably online, I'm sure.
They can.
Are people able to walk in if there's walk-in spots available or reservations?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
And is there a bar people can sit at if they
Yes.
Okay.
Our bar is actually one of the largest bars, I think, in the Sonoma area.
It's a
It's
beautiful bar.
stunning. Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful, and again, happy hour from 3 to 5. I'm all
Smart.
about my happy hours.
Right.
And and really great lounge area aside just from the actual seats at the bar too.
Okay, good. So great. So wit and wisdom's the right answer.
Yes.
And if I will say wit and wisdom is full, which it's so awesome it might be. Another place you could go, I will say Valley, which is on the plaza. It's a neat little restaurant up there, and then also Beacon, which is a bar around the corner. In between it is Psy, so for some champagne.
Love Psy.
Psy's a good one.
Psy's a good one.
And Tosca,
Yep.
which is like Portuguese small plates, which is all in that corner. So that's if your winery is in Sonoma proper area. And this
Yes.
one is this person's taking his girlfriend to Sebastiani. So
Okay.
Oh,
you
nice.
yeah, it's a good spot, right? It's a good
Yeah.
one. So okay, you guys are doing a good job so far. You're great.
You're doing great too.
We're out of
You
here.
too.
All right. Final question we got in our We Get Questions. We will be in Sonoma Valley to celebrate our 20th anniversary. Honeymoon there in 2003. Where should we be having dinner? And is there something we should not miss? This will be in October. So you can give me a dinner idea. You can do the same one or a different one. Go ahead.
I love Wit and Wisdom. I'll always say Wit and Wisdom.
Right.
But I also think EDK is a great spot.
Oh, yeah, Eldorado Kitchen, yeah.
They do have a lot of similarities to Wit and Wisdom. So if you don't have a chance to go there, I would definitely recommend
good.
EDK.
Good.
I think anything on the plaza would be great for an anniversary.
Right.
I think Psy is a really sweet spot.
Champagne, right?
It is champagne. It kind of
sparkling wine.
aligns with the anniversary
Right, does.
theme.
Good call.
If you want to do something that's out of the norm, there's Cassidy Ranch.
Tell me about that.
You
Okay,
can go.
ahead.
Yeah, it's a really fun spot. They actually just recently opened. Elizabeth and Tucker are the owners, and they're always out there doing something.
Are they an actual farm too, or what is Cassidy?
So they are a farm. Yeah, so they're a farm.
I
But
think
they
I bought
also,
pumpkins from them today at the farmer's market.
You probably
literally
did. You probably
Because they're
did.
down there
That's
by what Fremont Diner is now. What's it called? It's on the way to that place where you used to work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of it now?
I know exactly what you're talking
They
about,
own
but the
Moose.
name is slipping my mind.
But Cassidy Ranch is what we're talking about.
Okay.
And we just did a very Sonoma thing. We referred to a place by a place that's no longer there.
yeah.
And
Right.
expected each other to know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
that's
you both
exactly-
do. You
Yeah.
just
Yes,
can't
we just know the
remember
name of it. Right.
Which is
So-
really great.
So
I
good.
love
So
that.
Cassidy Ranch. I would also say if you're going up Valley, Glen Ellen Star is a good spot. Area Weisswasser
Absolutely.
has a great restaurant up there, and that's up in Glen Ellen. And then if you're in the Springs, Sonoma Springs, Sante, which is attached, it is attached to another hotel, the Fairmont, but it's also a very good restaurant.
It is.
And these are all good spots. But again, Wit and Wisdom is the number one, right? Is that we can say that?
It's just a very intimate,
good. Right, good
romantic
spot.
spot. I mean, you can't go wrong.
And if you haven't already booked your romantic package, whoever this person wrote in, it's not me, but it might as well be, you can get the romance package. What was it called again?
Fall in love at the
Love at the
lodge.
lodge.
And
Yes.
dinner for two is included in that package,
Oh.
and
Yes.
breakfast at Benicia's
Again,
Kitchen.
it's so easy. It's turnkey.
It's the 20th year anniversary,
Gotta
so
go
you
big.
should throw in a couples massage.
Smart.
You know?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
smart. And then later, get the bikes and go to the plaza and have a good time. You guys are good at We Get Questions. You answered them all correctly. Good job. You did it.
Thank you.
You did it.
Anytime.
All right. Well, Erin and Nicole, you guys have been wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Could you remind me again? I've already forgotten. What's the website people can go to if they want to learn more about the Lodge?
thelodge@sonoma.com.
And I'm sure there's going to be specials and offers and all sorts of neat things. And
Yes.
look out for Martini Madness. So.
And that's how they can sign up for the master's classes as
Oh,
well.
the master's classes
yes,
are there
because,
too.
again, open to the public, open
Great.
to the locals, something
Okay.
fun to do every month.
Great.
And
I
activation.
appreciate that. Cool. Thank you. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
And for those of you who want to learn not just about the Lodge at Sonoma, but everything else to do in Sonoma Valley, please go to sonomavalley.com. If you've listened this far, and I'm so happy that you have, like, comment, subscribe, give us 25 stars on the ratings there. Download this, tell everybody, and we will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.